Hey, this is Joe Price. I just wanted to talk about the project we're working on right now. We're going to be helping find the death date for about 4,000 people from our Skagit County sample. Finding death dates is really important for a lot of reasons, but it really does help us find possible duplicates on the tree. It helps us link to various death records, and then it lets us know how long the person was alive so we know which censuses to look for them in. So we're super excited to have your help, and let me show you how you can do that. So right here is the sheet we'll be working on. And just so you know, the score, I took information about these people to try to identify how likely it was that I think we'd find a death date for them. And so I've sorted them from high score to low score. And then I took out a bunch that had 0 score. So we're really focused in on 4,000 people that I think we can have some success with. But again, you won't be able to find death dates for all of them. And one of the tricks is just knowing kind of when to stop looking. And then for this task, complete just means you tried. So it's so the way you work in the sheet is you'll just hit Control down to come to the next open spot, and then you'll kind of just pick a section that you're going to work on. And then one thing I like to do is you can actually open up multiple tabs at once if you highlight them and then just hit Alt Return. So that allows me then to spend most of my time thinking rather than waiting for it to come up. Now, the other thing I should emphasize is that anytime we can attach additional census records or find more information about this person, we want to do that. We're specifically focused on finding their death date, but other things you find are going to be really helpful. So you might even just start by looking at some of the record hints that are already there. Now, this is one unfortunate thing. There's a whole bunch of marriage records. So we don't really expect you to attach every single marriage record because there's a lot of duplication of marriage records in Washington. So in this case, what I would do then is I would go over to Ancestry and see if maybe I can find a bit more information about this person. The other thing that can sometimes help is if you come in here into Family Search, you can actually refine your search and put in the married name, because that's likely maybe the name she would have when she passes away. And that might help us to find a death record for her. Now, in this case, we didn't find a death record for her, but it does look like we found another census record. And so anytime we can attach census records, that's always great, because we'd like to have a complete census tree for Skagit County. And then notice in this case, this is nice because now we just found where her husband was born. And so we can come over here to his profile and put that in right there. Okay, so now let's take a look at Ancestry. So here we have some of these records for her. And if you want, you can either click on a record for her. And one thing I find is when I click on a record for her, I start to get lots of record hints over here. And notice here we get a Find a Grave record, which is going to be exactly the kind of thing we're looking for. And then I'd like to go directly to Find a Grave so that we can get all the information that's on that website. And so you can see here, then we're going to be, and the key thing is now we can look and see, so you can see here's Thomas A. Probst, Priscilla. So this is a very good match. And so we can bring over the death information. And once we bring over that death information, it's likely that additional record hints might start to show up, or maybe even a possible duplicate. Let's see if there's any other information that we should bring over. She does have a middle name, which is P. That can sometimes be helpful. Though, actually I'm going to take that off because it's possible that middle name is just sometimes the middle name is just representing an abbreviation, an initial for the birth name. And then the other thing that we can do just really quick is see if there's any other family members for which we have easy access to information over here that we could bring over. And it looks like everyone over here that has a death date is already here. So in that case, then we're done. So then we can just close a few of these windows and go to our next person. And so again, the steps are, we can look here in record hints first, and notice again, we have a whole bunch of these marriage records. We're going to have to find a way to kind of take those out so it doesn't create a burden on people to have to attach a whole bunch of sources that are identical. But now we're going to come over here to Ancestry and notice that here we have a birth certificate for her. It has the exact date. And sometimes then a birth certificate can be nice because it might help us link to a death record. Now, this is an interesting case where we have what looks to be a death record for her son. So actually, let's put him on the tree. Okay, because anything we can do to grow the tree for these families is going to be really great. Oops. And okay, let's go back to her. So now here we are on her page. Let's see if there's any other. So there's an obituary. Maybe that might be her. Here's a SSDI. The other thing we can do, here's a find a grave. Let's just see if that might be our person. Let's see, this looks actually like our person. So then again, we can see here's William Martin, her husband. You can see that the birth years line up really well. And Whatcom County is right next to Skagit County. So in that case, then we can put in her death info. We can do the same for her husband. So I think the main thing I just want to emphasize is there's lots of ways to do this. The main task is to find a death date for these people. There's going to be lots of good things that are going to come from doing that. But along the way, let's make the tree better. If we find duplicates, let's merge them. If we see census records, let's attach them. If we find family members, let's add them. We really want Skagit County to be this fully connected, amazing discovery experience for people and use it as a pilot to show it's possible for other communities. So super thanks for your help on this project. Hope you have a great experience.